10 hidden paradises you won't find on Google Maps. Think you've seen everything Earth has to offer just by zooming in on Google Maps? Think again. Some of the world's most breathtaking, untouched paradises are so well-hidden, so remote, or so fiercely protected that they don't even show up on the digital grid. These are places where Wi-Fi signals vanish, GPS stops making sense, and all that's left is raw, unfiltered nature. We're talking secret beaches with glowing waves, villages hidden behind waterfalls, and islands that don't appear on any official atlas. Whether kept quiet by locals or simply missed by satellites, these destinations offer a rare kind of escape, one you won't find with a search bar. So, pack your sense of adventure. Here are 10 hidden paradises you won't find on Google Maps. Huacachina Oasis. Tucked away in the deserts of southwestern Peru, Huacachina looks like a mirage brought to life, a lush lagoon surrounded by towering sand dunes. It's a real-life desert oasis, complete with palm trees, paddle boats, and golden sunsets that light up the dunes like fire. Though some maps will show the town nearby, the actual oasis itself is often obscured or completely missed by satellite views. Tourists stumble upon it mostly by word of mouth or sheer accident while exploring Ica. What makes it even more magical is how isolated it feels. One moment you're in a vast, empty desert, and the next you're sipping pisco sours by a peaceful lagoon. It's like stumbling into a fantasy novel. And, yes, you can sandboard down the dunes like you're on another planet. Flores Island Hot Springs, Azores, Portugal. Far out in the Atlantic Ocean lies the Azores archipelago, and on its westernmost island, Flores, there's a geothermal paradise, hidden among cliffs and waterfalls. These hot springs aren't marked on major maps and often aren't included in commercial travel apps. Locals prefer to keep them secret. You reach them by following winding trails through dense moss-covered forests and crumbling volcanic rock. When you arrive, it feels like stepping into another time. Warm, mineral-rich pools surrounded by towering cliffs, and the constant soundtrack of falling water. The air smells faintly of sulfur and earth, and the water is said to have healing properties. No crowds, no Wi-Fi, just natural perfection. And unless someone tells you exactly where to go, you'd never know it exists. Isla del Sol, Bolivia. Located in the middle of Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world, Isla del Sol is one of South America's best-kept secrets. It's technically visible on satellite maps, but you'd never know the magic that awaits unless you actually make the trek. No cars, no paved roads, and barely any signage. What you get instead are ancient Incan ruins, quiet stone villages, and panoramic views that feel like a painting come to life. The island is steeped in myth. Locals believe it's the birthplace of the sun itself. It's also home to some of the friendliest communities you'll ever meet. Getting here isn't easy. You'll need a boat from Copacabana and a lot of patience. But once you arrive, it feels like time slows down. This is the kind of place that changes you. Sua, Ocean, Trench, Samoa. Hidden deep within the jungle-covered island of Upolu in Samoa is one of the most stunning natural swimming holes on Earth, and most maps don't even label it clearly. The Tusu Ocean Trench is a massive 30-meter-deep sinkhole filled with turquoise seawater, accessible only by a narrow wooden ladder. Surrounded by gardens and tropical rainforest, it's as surreal as it is serene. From above, it just looks like a strange hole in the ground. But climb down, and you'll discover an Eden-like escape where you can float beneath vines and the open sky. The trench connects to the ocean through lava tubes, giving it a subtle tide, and the whole experience feels like swimming in a lost world. It's the definition of a secret paradise. The Blue Lake, New Zealand. New Zealand is known for its pristine landscapes, but tucked away in the Nelson Lakes National Park is a lake so clear and sacred that it's rarely mentioned in mainstream travel guides. Known as Rotomare Whenua, or the Blue Lake, this hidden treasure has the clearest natural fresh water ever recorded. Visibility exceeds 80 meters. You can't swim in it, as it's sacred to the Maori people, but just standing by its shore is enough to take your breath away. The lake is only accessible by a multi-day hike through rugged terrain, so it's never crowded. No tour buses, no snack stands, just you, silence, and a color so intensely blue it almost doesn't look real. Google Maps might show a lake here, but it can't capture the feeling of actually seeing it in person. Hadu Morocco. This ancient village, made entirely of red clay and mud brick, is hidden in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco and looks like something straight out of a fantasy film. In fact, it is served as the backdrop for Game of Thrones and Gladiator, yet it remains mysteriously under the radar online. On satellite images, it blends so well with the surrounding desert that it's often overlooked or mislabeled. This fortified village, or Care, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but feels surprisingly untouched. You'll find narrow, winding alleys, centuries-old Casbahs, and views that stretch across golden valleys. Time seems to have forgotten this place, and in the best way possible. No digital map can do justice to the silence and raw beauty of standing among its sun-baked walls. Green Lake, Austria. For most of the year, Grüner See Green Lake in Austria is a lovely park surrounded by mountains. But come spring, something magical happens. Snowmelt from the nearby peaks floods the entire area, turning it into an underwater wonderland. Benches, bridges, and walking paths disappear beneath crystal clear water, creating a surreal submerged landscape. While it does appear on maps, the lake's transformation isn't documented or obvious unless you know exactly when to look. Divers come from around the world to explore this ephemeral paradise, but casual travelers rarely hear about it. It's as if nature presses a reset button each year and reveals a secret world for just a few weeks. If you ever wanted to walk in a park and then swim through it, Mount Bosavi Crater, Papua New Guinea. In one of the most remote corners of Papua New Guinea lies the collapsed volcanic crater of Mount Bosavi, a place so isolated that new species are discovered here almost every year. It's not visible on Google Maps in any useful detail, and there are no direct paths or coordinates to guide you there easily. The crater is several kilometers wide, filled with dense rainforest, rare animals, and a misty atmosphere that feels prehistoric. Scientists describe it as a lost world, and it's not hard to see why. It's like stepping into the Jurassic era. The only way in is by trekking with local guides through days of dense jungle. But for those who make it, the reward is an untouched ecosystem that's barely been explored. Few places on Earth feel this raw or this real. Huacachina, Honduras. Off the northern coast of Honduras lies a string of tiny, undeveloped islands known as Cayos Cochinos. These islands are protected both ecologically and culturally, and most aren't even labeled properly on digital maps. There are no roads, no hotels, and no noise. Just palm trees, coral reefs, and crystal clear waters. The Garifuna people, who inhabit nearby areas, work to preserve the island's purity and limit outside influence. To get here, you need permission and a boat, and a good dose of patience. But once you arrive, you're rewarded with some of the most unspoiled beaches in the Caribbean. This is the kind of place where time drifts as slowly as the waves, and you suddenly remember what peace feels like. Punakha Hidden Monastery, Bhutan. Deep within the emerald valleys of Bhutan lies a monastery, so well concealed that even locals refer to it in whispers. Hidden behind cascading waterfalls and only reachable via unmarked mountain trails, this secluded temple near Punakha is considered sacred and off-limits to most outsiders. It's not listed on travel brochures or tour maps, and good luck finding it on Google. Even high-resolution satellite imagery struggles to locate it due to dense forest cover. The journey there is spiritual by design. Monks believe only those who truly seek inner peace will ever find it. If you're lucky enough to be invited, you'll pass through ancient bridges, prayer flag-draped paths, and misty cliffs before reaching the monastery carved into the rock itself. Time stands still here. It's not just a place, it's an experience. And the silence? It's not empty. It's full of meaning. Which one of these would you drop everything to explore? Let us know in the comments, and if you've got your own hidden gem to share, we'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to like this video if it sparked your wanderlust. Hit subscribe to keep discovering the world's most mysterious places, and ring that bell so you never miss out on our next journey.